Joe Orth and I are starting a podcast. What should we call it?
Hey, don't pick on me. You know why? Because this is why. Let's see what he says.
The Joe Show?
Give Joe the business?
That's right.
Cup of Joe.
Cup of Joe.
What is happening here?
Would you listen?
We'll give you a chance.
Thank you. That's Joe.
That's Rooster.
And this is the Together We Shall podcast, episode 50. Oh, we made it. We made it. What's up, dude? What is happening?
Man, I mean, a lot's happening, especially if people are watching. Like, if you're listening to this and you read the description and the title, like, I guess you understand. But if you're watching, there's a lot happening. Look, there's Ted. Ted's in the background.
So
my ADD can't handle this.
This is going to be fun. So, friends, we're going to jump right into this thing. Joining us from soon to be the starting line of the Boston Marathon, our guest today, Shamus Evans. What's up, Shamus?
Not much, guys. How are you?
What do you mean, not much, dude? You're literally about to walk to the starting line of the Boston Marathon.
I'm trying to stay calm, not get too excited. So when we get to the start, I can let all my excitement out.
Oh, okay. Well, our intentions today is to be there at the start with you. We also don't want to take away from the moment. So if at any point you need to flip your camera around, I'm actually curious for those that actually watch, is it easy for you to click a button and show us what you see?
I can show you guys everything around me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. Awesome. Well, so if you're watching, that is the duos as well as the assisted athletes, wheel cranks, and everybody there. And Joe, you've been there before. So where are they actually?
Well, I mean, keep in mind when I went, there was no visibility, and not from me or the blind runner, but the weather was bad. But yeah, you left. We went into tents because I think that's the church in the background got full. So they pushed us into tents. And then, there was a guy with a clipboard and a megaphone, and he's calling your names and your numbers. And it's like school. You're getting in line to go to lunch, but you're getting in line to go start the Boston Marathon.
Your first Boston Marathon, you have to be 18 years old to do the event, right? And so what do you remember about the first time you ever went to the Boston Marathon as we go back in time?
So I was about 6 months old when I went to my first Boston Marathon to watch my dad run. And I don't really remember that, but I've seen pictures from it, and in all of them, I'm smiling. My dad is so happy, and it just looked like a lot of fun. And then after that, he's told me stories like what to expect, all about the course, stuff like that, and it's only increased my excitement. So now that I'm here, it's just so surreal.
Yeah, no doubt. And I've seen a lot of pictures of you when you were young, and I am surprised that you don't remember when you were 6 months old, Shamus. I mean, you're super. Yeah. What is that? I can't believe. Come on, dude, step up.
I don't know. Yeah.
So how'd you get to be able to go to the Boston Marathon? Did you have to write a letter to Mr. Dave, or did you have to stay on your head with your finger on your nose? How do you get to do this?
On Labor Day weekend, my dad and I went up to Sackett's Harbor, and we ran the first annual Sackett's Harbor Marathon, and we qualified with a time of 2:55.
Oh, that was a half marathon, right?
No, that's full.
Oh, wait, hang on. So you ran 2 hours and 50 minutes, and it was all entire 26.2 miles.
Yes.
Joe.
It makes sense.
It does? No, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. Now, whether or not we believe it or not.
All right, yeah. And I mean, the whole idea of 6 months to 18, this has always been, a goal for you and your dad. And what did he run? 5, 4? How many Boston's did he run?
He ran 6.
6. I guess that would have been my next number. 5, 4, 6.
Yeah. So this is his 7th, and he gets to run with you.
Yes. Yep.
I got a feeling this might be his favorite.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Yes. you've had a busy weekend, right? I mean,
Crazy
it's
busy.
Monday, it's Patriots Day, but I mean, you've been across the state of New York into Boston. How was your event on Saturday?
Yeah, so we had the Odyssey of the Mind state tournament on Saturday, and my team got sixth place overall, and I was honored with a $1,000 scholarship for doing it for 13 whole years.
Wait, hang on. So you've done Odyssey of the Mind for 13 years, and then they gave you a scholarship. Where are you going? Like to the University of Odyssey of the Mind, or do they have like a special college? Or
No, it was $1,000 for anything toward my college education.
okay, well, what you're going to college?
Tell us more.
I have recently committed to the university at Albany State School.
Whoa. Yes, bravo, bravo. Yes, we're clapping and things. Yeah. So what's their mascot?
They are the Great Danes.
That's so perfect.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I was expecting, but Great Dane I don't think was it, but it actually worked. Like I don't know why.
I know. That's perfect. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that takes us right into Miller time. So how perfect is that? Not only do we have Shamus joining us for the start of the Boston Marathon starting line there, but we also found out that he's gone to the university at Albany, I think is what he said. Is it New York? Is it New York University at Albany?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, and they're the Great Danes. So without further ado, grab your favorite beverage. Shamus, do you have access to a beverage as you prepare to go run from Hopkinton to Boston?
Man, ADD kicked in. I made a mistake of putting on the live feed so I could like maybe see Shamus start, but actually start. And now it's like I should minimize this because like look, I'm gonna take a picture. And I'm gonna text it to you guys. But
so you're watching the news. You're watching the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never listened to Together We Shall podcast, basically Joe and I do a bunch of tangents and thoroughfares. And what you just realized is that was a very, very, very
they're
live
off. The hand
tangent.
cranks are gone.
Okay, Joe does need to turn off the other monitor.
Yeah. But when they go to the start, I want to see I want to see the two.
Yeah, me too. Angles. Yeah, that's a cool thing for sure. But so anyway, back to Miller time. Everybody's grabbing their favorite. Anyway, so Shamus, what are you drinking for the Boston Marathon?
I'm not drinking anything because I don't really want to have to pee during the race.
Okay, so your dad runs so fast that you can decide, I'm not going to drink anything. I'm not at risk of dehydration because dad's going to be done. Okay, got it. So what is y'all's target today? If you qualified under 3, is the goal to be somewhere around 3, or we're just going to go out and take pictures and kiss girls on top of hills?
Yeah, I think we're just going to enjoy it. I don't know if we have a specific time goal, but enjoy the day, have a lot of fun.
Joe, when you ran Boston, did you kiss girls on top of hills? And can you tell our listeners why I'm not some weird dude talking about kissing girls?
I personally did not kiss a girl on top of the hill, but there may have been a kiss from the team on top of a hill, and it's what is it, Wesley College?
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
Oh wait. Shamus seems to know about this.
I was informed this morning about it.
Okay. Well, what exactly were you told?
I was told that there is a all-girls college where they all line the streets and then try to kiss the runners.
Okay. So
there's no trying. They will kiss you if you would like a kiss. Yeah. They will kiss you. Yes.
So I noticed you're starting to move now. And I see we have some of our other teams right there over your left shoulder is Hannah. Make sure you put the camera in Hannah's face if she passes you. I don't think she's going to pass you. But Hannah's running with Thomas, and for our listeners, Thomas was one of our guests in prior episodes. He's actually running his final Boston Marathon today. Thomas's story, Joe, I mean, we talked to them in the podcast, but just the idea of running the Boston Marathon as many times and as fast as he has, while also battling multiple sclerosis, and now qualifying with Hannah to do his final race as part of the duo class. Wow, what a story, huh?
Yeah, I mean, like he's got to come up with a new saying because one more round clearly didn't matter. Oh, God, what, 7, 8 years ago. But I'll tell you, for a guy who's, I don't want to say old, but he's older than me, right? Veteran, 20 plus years in the military, MS, all the things that come with that, still running, period. And then at the way he is, but always look, he smile, always in
Yeah.
good spirits when he's on the
Yeah.
race course. That dude does
Yeah.
not have a bad day on the court. And when he passed me at Boston, just in those terrible weather conditions, was so happy. Him and Arik, it was like, man, like that's the type of person you want to be running with
Yeah.
is Thomas Hicks, Shamus Evans.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool, man. Episode 27. If you haven't listened and give it a chance, Thomas Hicks talks about essentially what does it mean to never give up as they're about to go attack the course. Shamus, you're on the move now, and it's neat for those of us that are watching because if you've been around the adaptive sports community at all, you've recognized things, whether it's people's outfits, uniforms, the runners, the riders. How many duos are there today, to your understanding?
There are 21 duo teams.
Yeah.
So 21 is far more than one. So for our listeners who wonder why I'm pointing that out, if we go back into the 70s, actually it was the 80s before it actually happened, but Dick and Rick Hoyt are from South Central Massachusetts, which isn't all that far from Boston. And after qualifying at the Marine Corps Marathon in the early 80s at a time somewhere around 2 hours and 41 minutes, if my memory serves me right, they were invited by the Boston Athletic Association to run the Boston Marathon. And they went on to do so for over 30 years. Even after Dick was not able to run anymore, his son Rick was still pushed by a great friend of Ainsley's Angels, Brian Lyons, who has also passed away since then, and so has Dick, and so has Rick. And to think about it just through the idea that they ran together for 30 years and the legacy continued, and it was only them. It was only Ricky, is the way that they used to say it in Boston. And now there's 21. Of course, the 21st or the first of the duos today is the honorary Hoyt Foundation team, which is honoring the memory of Rick and Dick Hoyt. So, Shamus, you're literally running among legends. And that in
Yes.
and of itself is really, really heavy. How's that feel? How are you handling those emotions?
It's really amazing because I've had the pleasure of talking to most of the duo teams, and their stories are really amazing.
Mm-hmm. They really are. I mean, I see right over your right shoulder. That's Jim Pathman. He was the one of the key members in the forming of Team Hoyt San Diego, and his son Riley is running today.
Yep.
They qualified. Riley, had a chance to do a Ragnar 200-mile relay with Riley there, right there in Cape Cod. Like, as I'm looking behind you and seeing all these people and all these stories that you spoke of that are coming to mind, like there's so much gravity and so much history. It's so rich. I understand there's a bronze statue of Dick and Rick Hoyt at the start. Have you had a chance to see that?
I have not gotten to see that yet. No, not yet.
I think, and Joe, you correct me if I'm wrong, but the starting line that Seamus is walking to right now might not be all that far from that statue, or am I incorrect?
Yeah, if they're going the same route I did, yeah, from the staging area to the start, it's probably 3/4 of the way down. It would have been on
Yeah.
like your right side, assuming the same paths and all that are there. But yeah, that's definitely something neat to see if the time permitted itself. But you guys are a 9:30 start,
We are, yeah.
so we got 20 minutes till go time. What was the expo like? Saw some pictures. Saw a big sandwich.
Yeah, so the expo was crazy busy. We were in and out pretty quick because it was just so packed. It was like wall to wall people like buying their race gear and all that stuff. So we were in and out pretty quick. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
Did you see yourself at the expo?
Not at the expo, but I went to the ASIC store and they had a poster of me and my dad getting ready for the Boston Marathon.
Yeah, that's surreal, right, Joe? I mean, to go into the A6 house there in Boston and to see yourself in real life, bigger than life. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
He just goes with, yeah, that's kind of cool. So listeners are starting to hear some noises in the background. Shamus and Shaun are approaching the Boston Marathon. And, Shamus, I want to say again, thank you again, man, for agreeing to join us here for this podcast, our 50th Together We Shall podcast. And we don't want to take away from anything that this experience is, but we're grateful that you're including us in it.
Yeah, no problem, guys. This is a lot of fun.
Whenever someone runs a race, they all get assigned a bib number, and then they wear that bib on their shirt. And Shamus, what is your bib number?
Oh, my bib number is my name, Shamus.
Yeah, I love it. Is that so awesome, right? Most people's bib number is like 26119 or 27862. No, Shamus. Just big bold letters. I love it. It's perfect. And is that what they're doing with all the riders? They just
It is.
Yeah. That's perfect. That's good.
We just made it to the start line.
Well, it's official. So with 19 minutes until the start, you're at the start. You're situated. You said you were waiting to allow some of your excitement to come out once you got to the start. Is that still your intentions? Yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to bubble up now.
It's always been a goal of a lot of our listeners to toe the line at Boston Marathon, and I don't know if it's ever been done virtually before, but this is pretty cool. Pretty neat to see everything up there and on what looks to be a pretty dang good day weather-wise.
Hey, look, look, Thomas trying to say hello there. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, keep it there. Just flip it over at Hannah there. Hannah's going to give us a wave. I don't know.
Oh, God. Maybe it is cold. I don't know.
Yeah.
Where do you want it?
When you guys get to your next stopping point, I think we should let Dad say hi for a second. Wish him good luck.
Yeah, that would be cool. Okay. But like he seems like he got a lot going on there. He's like,
he does.
What do you think whenever you look around there? Can you kind of paint a picture of your emotion, your excitement? Like, what do you see? What stands out to you?
Yeah. So the thing that stands out most to me is the amount of the para athletes that are here. There are at least 30 hand cycles around me, and that's just really cool to see that there's so much inclusion with all of the athletes.
So I got 30 plus hand cycles. I got 21 duos. What other types of adaptive athletes have you come across or do you see?
Those are the two big ones, and then they have, I think there's 5 or 6 push rims for the front of the starting line.
And can you help us understand the difference between a push rim, a hand crank, and a duo team? Like those are 3 very distinctly different things. How would you explain those?
Yep. So a push rim is like you're propelling yourself in a wheelchair, but it's really low to the ground and has a similar structure to a hand cycle. A hand cycle is when you are cranking yourself with like a bike chain and pedals that you use with your hands. And then a duo team is when there's a rider and a runner, and the runner pushes the rider athlete.
Got it. Perfect. Well explained. And some of the other adaptive sports athletes, Joe, and you can attest to this, that sometimes you'll see on the course are those that are legally blind.
Just talked about those 3 groups right there, and I think there's 50 or so folks. To my understanding, there's another 50 that are falling into that blind, neurodivergent-esque, category where they're have a guide. So in my case, when I ran in 2018, I was the visual guide for Michael Davis, who was legally blind, pushing Ashton. A special time, running alongside Michael as he pushed Ashton 26.2 miles in pretty poor, austere conditions, but just keeping him motivated, keeping him hydrated, telling him when to stop, turn right, turn left type of thing. And Rooster, better than I do how taxing that can be, right? From the guide standpoint. I didn't realize how hard it would be until, we started really going on that. But I mean, it's really awesome to see, the blind folks running by that are either tethered to someone else, right? And then you have all the folks from like Achilles. I mean, there's 100+ para athletes out there today, and that's just pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And Shamus, is there a lot of people taking pictures at this point? Everybody wants to.
Yeah, there are quite a few people, at least 3 rows deep at the finish line or start line. They're all taking pictures. Everyone's getting ready.
Yeah, I can sense the excitement in your voice. Now, the race director is Dave McGilvray, and we have had a chance to meet Dave. In fact, Dave gave you and your dad a gift at one of our events that we shared years back. Have you had a chance to see Dave?
We have not gotten to see Dave yet, no.
So Dave is the, like I said, the race director for the Boston Marathon. And what's cool about the way he executes and has for many years is after everybody's done, he'll go and he'll be the last one to start. And he'll run that race and sometimes finish at 10, 11, midnight that same day as he runs the course after everybody else. Pretty cool thing that he's done.
Seeing Dave would be great. Have you had a chance to see the Grand Marshal? Do you know who it is?
No.
It's David Ortiz, Big Papi.
Oh no, we have not seen him.
Yeah, that speech after the bombing in Fenway, God, however many years ago is pretty cool. So maybe you get to run into him, even though you are a Yankees fan.
I'm a Mets fan.
Oh, all right, that's right.
Yeah.
After they ran across the country, we got a chance to link up at the at City Park at the Mets field.
Yep.
And you got to meet some of those players there as we're waiting for the start there. I mean, these big momentous events that your life has included. I mean, going to the Field of Dreams. I mean, finishing a run across America at City Park, having a chance to qualify here and run the Boston Marathon, races and runs all across the country. Not to mention the accolades and successes you've had in on your Odyssey journey. I mean, gosh, Joe, as we learned in episode 8 of this podcast, he taps maple trees and makes syrup. Like, come on, dude. What a journey, huh, Shamus, Joe?
I mean, yeah, and then it's really neat seeing, as I have 2 boys, the same age difference as Simon and Shamus, like as they're growing up and like following in dad's footsteps, right? Simon's, the track guy. Shamus is a big, obviously, athlete. It's really neat to see, and I guess kind of gives me hope that, like, man, maybe I can get it together and the kids will follow after their dad. I think though, like you said, his academic endeavors, right, and then being an athlete are great, but he's also has that philanthropic side. And I think he's got something planned here in the next couple weeks. Do you want to talk about that, Shamus?
Yeah, I do. So on May 16th, I'm hosting a Blue Jean Mile at my high school track. And so what that is people run a mile wearing blue jeans, and that is to raise awareness for suicide and mental illness.
That's pretty special. And how'd you come across this Blue Jean Mile opportunity?
Yeah. So I had a chance to meet Johnny Gregoric over the summer, and after talking with him, I just looked him up quick, and I found that his brother died to suicide, and I was like, that was really like kind of, it was sad to me. And in Galway, there have been in the past few years, we've lost a few of our classmates to instances like that, and I just want to do something to try and have a memorial for them, but also work for suicide prevention in the future.
This is pretty admirable, man, and I love the emotion and the meaning behind why you're going to do this Blue Jean Mile. I am curious, like, why in blue jeans?
So Johnny Gregoric's brother, he always loved to to run in blue jeans for just for fun. So Johnny started to do that as a tradition, and then it caught on and turned into a full event.
Wow, man. So that's going to happen next month. May, what did you say?
16th.
And you're going to do that with all your friends and colleagues there at your school at what, Galway
Yes.
High School?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, Joe, thanks for bringing that up, man. That's pretty cool. In fact, I know that Shamus is also an ASICS ambassador with his dad, and ASICS gets behind that initiative too and does like a Blue Jean Mile. That thing's getting some momentum, man. So thanks for honoring not only Johnny's brother, but all those that died by suicide and their family members that are courageously trying to keep their memories alive. And that's pretty admirable, Shamus. Well done.
Thank you.
What is it about May that makes the Blue Jean Mile make sense in May?
So May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and at our school we have a club called SAD, which stands for Students Against Destructive Decisions, and I am partnering with them because they're doing a wellness fair the same day as I'm doing my mile. So they're talking about the effects of mental health and topics like that. And then I'm gonna do my Blue Jean Mile after school to kind of
Wow.
close that event.
So I don't seldom do I have nothing to say. I'm just like, wow. Dude,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like as if preparing to go off to college and live on his own for the first time, which obviously is going to pose some challenges. The excitement over the Odyssey of the Mind tied into Boston Marathon weekend, but let's throw some more stuff on the plate and plan and organize and host an event. So and for those of you that are listening, Shamus is going to be sharing some links, but you can participate in this one virtually too, which is really neat. So you don't have to live in Galway, New York either.
That's pretty awesome. Well, I'm actually wearing blue jeans right now without even thinking through that. So
Nice.
I guess I'll be signing up to virtually join that effort. So what's happening there on the scene for all our listeners? We're joining Shamus and Shaun Evans at the Boston Marathon starting line. They kick it off here in about 6 minutes, and I hear some talking going on. Shamus, what's happening now?
Yeah. So there's a lot of hustle and bustle among the athletes. The hand cycles are getting ready. They're getting their water and drinks, snack, fuel situated. There's a whole line of volunteers at the start line getting ready to guide everyone through.
Let's talk about fuel for a minute, because we can see, those of you who are watching can see your dad's fuel, and everyone always wants to know, like, what do you eat and drink and run on a marathon? Well, what are you going to eat? Do you have some snacks?
Me?
Some cookies?
No.
Leftover
No,
sandwich? What do you got in the chair?
No, I don't usually eat or drink on run a marathon.
Nothing?
Nothing.
I did have the honor of running with you, being dragged by your dad in a marathon before.
Yes.
We shared an Oreo at some mile, and that was pretty exciting.
Yeah, I remember that. That was fun.
I don't know about not eating or drinking anything, but I also don't know anything about running a marathon under 3 hours. So I'm going to defer to Shamus as the expert when it comes to how to pull your dad 26.2 miles under 3 hours.
Yeah.
Not to mention across the country.
So what my dad did was he put his his water bottles and drinks and stuff in the front of the chair for extra weight in the front, so it pulls us down the hill faster.
Okay, I like that. That's strategy.
But what happens when you go up the hill?
Hopefully by then he's gonna finish one of the waters in the back and then grab some of them out of the front.
So I'm curious how hard it would be to have your dad take your headphones and just put them on, and then you move the camera a little bit just so he could say hello. Yeah. Is that something?
Yeah, we can do that.
On Marathon Way.
Like 3 minutes.
Hey guys.
Hey dude, you're literally
2 minutes till go time.
Yeah. Okay, well that's badass. Well look, dude, you got 30 seconds. Talk.
Oh my gosh. Beyond our wildest dreams, we're getting the VIP treatment here. Shamus and I are having a blast. The crowd is already out. The weather is perfect. A little bit of cloud cover, which is ideal. Sounds like there's going to be a tailwind. The biggest challenge for me today is going to be slowing down for the first time.
Yeah, no, dude, the emotions must be just not even, you can't even put the emotions into words, dude. I'm not going to make you cry right now, although that is probably really easy to do. Look,
Oh my
dude, man,
gosh.
just so awesome, bro. 7th Boston Marathon. This one, probably the one, right? With your
This
son.
this is it. And surrounded by, so many of our inclusion families, people that we haven't seen in a while, reuniting in Boston. It's like a family reunion with the people that are here, Peter Klein and Jim Passman and Brendan Hayward and on and on. But they're counting us down, so I'm going to hand you back to Shay.
Yeah, man. Have a great run, bro.
Thank you.
We lost him for a second, but that's all right. We'll give him time. He'll figure it out. But I mean, yeah, dude, Peter Klein, like, marathons with meaning. I mean, we went all the way out to Vegas and supported him running for 24 hours straight. Jim Pathman, Riley's dad, of course. Yeah. He talked about the gentleman there from Adaptive X, Brendan. Welcome back, Shamus. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Hey, that was a good recovery, man. Yeah, wasn't sure how that was gonna, like, what signal or what was lost, but that was good recovery. Well done.
Thank you.
All the things we've said that Shamus is up to, he's also managing us two knuckleheads in his ears, as he's about to do this. So what's the countdown? What's happening there? Are they talking to you?
They are. They just made an announcement. We got about a minute left.
All right, dude. Can you turn your camera around for this and let us just kind of watch and listen to you? A little
30
bit.
seconds.
Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. Angle's perfect, man. Let's just keep it right there. Listeners, if you're listening, we're doing this because we also record this and show it on YouTube. So I'm going to stop talking. Let's just take all this in. Shamus, you can talk if you want. Tell us what you're feeling, but this is cool. Well, it's probably so loud that Shamus can't even freaking hear me, but we're watching and they're underway. And what's wild about this, Joe, is I see no other duo teams. So it looks like Shamus he's winning. They're keeping up with the hand cramps. Like, what?
We need to be able to overlay a speedometer on it for right now, especially coming up on this hill. Oh man.
They're about to fly.
Hold on, Shamus. Hold on, Shamus.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, obviously, if a listener's listening to this, they're like, what's going on right now? Well, I'll just try to paint a picture. I mean, Shamus and Shaun just started along with 20 other duo teams, and in front of them are about 30 plus hand cranks and wheel cranks, and they are now going down a hill at probably first quarter mile of the event there. And for as far as I can see, it's downhill. And the hand cranks and wheels, they all just really, really made some ground. But interestingly enough, I still see nobody in front of Shamus or Shaun that is of the duo category. And there are some fast athletes in this field.
That's a strong field. I mean, especially just mentioning some of the names Shaun just mentioned. It's probably 2 miles of steady. I mean, there's some drops and then it, levels out. And man, for Shaun to reel it in, because he could open up those bionic hips and let that thing fly.
That's what Shaun was saying. Like, I got to reel it in. I got to slow down. I got to temper my emotion. But sometimes you just can't, dude. And there's so much going on here within his mind, his heart, his body, and he's pushing down this hill. It's really kind of hard to
just get some good shoes and you want to run really fast down a hill. I don't know.
All kind of tangents here. Joe's making a funny at me. I got some brand new big thick sole shoes and I ran fast down a hill. And when you're over 200 pounds, you really shouldn't go down a hill at 5-minute miles. I got a sports hernia out of that endeavor. Anyway, so the rest of the way for some time is going to be rolling hills through South Central Massachusetts with fans that are going to be all over the urban areas. Shamus, you can bring us back to you. There is that
All
1
right.
kilometer, 1 kilometer
Yeah.
already.
No,
So hey,
yeah,
dude,
that was 1 kilometer.
I mean, it's happening now, bro. Like, talk to us, man. You are running the Boston Marathon right now.
No words to describe it. It's just so wow. That's all I have to say. Wow. The start down that big hill was pretty steep, and it was I thought that my dad might have lost his emotion reining it in. I thought we were gonna fly down it, but he did a good job. He held it back, and we stayed at a good pace.
You know what's cool about this, Joe? Shamus is out of breath, which kind of speaks. You know what I mean, though. It speaks to the
Wind.
gravity of this. Well, the wind in your face, sure, but the gravity of this moment. Like I felt like I was out of breath for a minute there, maybe because I was holding my breath in anticipation of the start and the hill. But I mean, we can see your dad over your shoulder there. And he's just leaning into it. You know, he's got his little hat, got his little glasses, waving every now and
doing
again.
great.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so what do you do now? I mean, we got a lot of listeners whose loved ones are also athlete riders, and when the runner takes off with their loved one, the caregivers and others are back, you know, waiting to support them when they get to the finish line. So, can you take us into the mind of an athlete rider who's pulling someone along for 2 miles? What kind of things are you thinking about and doing, and how are you supporting the team?
Right. So, when it gets a little bit tough when we're climbing up hills, we have a speaker on our chair, so I'll play a song that I know that my dad loves, and that'll get him really motivated to help him get up that hill. Or if we're in like a dead area, we'll talk, and I'll lift his spirits that way.
Yeah, man. So yeah, go ahead, Joe.
What song gets your dad up a hill? Like Heartbreak Hill, I think it's mile 18 or so. What's gonna get dad up that hill? Man, this is cool.
Either the Rocky theme song or Eminem "Lose Yourself."
Ah, man, I know someone else who listens to both of those on loops.
Yeah, that's me. The Rocky Eye of the Tiger and Eminem's "Lose Yourself" and Mom Spaghetti and all the things. 8 miles from Detroit City Center. Shout out to Lance Woods. Lance Woods, did you run into Lance? Because didn't he do like London and now he's doing Boston like back to back or something?
We haven't seen Lance yet.
So, listeners, if you're wondering who Lance is, episode 32. Lance joined us for the podcast. He's from Detroit. He talked about, you know, the power of whenever we forget ourselves, that's when we do things which will be remembered. And so, Shamus, I bring Lance's quote into this moment now and say, you know, you have always lived a life of not being selfish. Like, where does that come from? This innate ability to just want to help others and to celebrate others.
I think it's always come from my parents. They've always pushed me to be the best I can be, and that just involves helping people, volunteering, getting involved in the community.
Well, you're smack dab involved in the community right now, from Hopkinton to Boston, probably past mile 2, probably approaching mile 2 by this point, just based on the speed in which your dad runs. Have you seen a lot of people coming out? Like, you talk about community and getting involved. You see a lot of people.
Yeah, we just passed 2 huge waves of people. Amazing crowd.
What does that mean? What does that mean when you're out on the course and you're running and there are amazing crowds with a lot of energy? How can you explain that energy?
It's just so positive and pure. I think it boosts all the runners' spirits and helps them get through those hard parts.
Yeah. Yeah. Power of togetherness and together we shall yeah, absolutely. Beautiful stuff.
Okay, we're coming up on another huge crowd right now.
Yeah. Flip it around. Let us get involved in this. All, the listeners like, oh man, I can't see any of this stuff. I mean, you don't really have to see it sometimes. It's humanity. It's a wall on top of a wall on top of a wall of humanity. Everything from young children to folks in their 70s, 80s. You're seeing just clapping and yelling and poster signs and you can do it and hands in the air, and it's just nothing but like Shamus said, pure positive emotion and energy that's coming from one human to all the runners onto the course. And yeah, pretty powerful.
Yeah, I mean it's neat, right? I mean, like the state is off today. It's a state holiday, Patriots Day, and like seeing all these kids that are like could be sleeping in, not skipping school, but not in school, like that are all out there with their signs and snacks and high fives and kisses and pom poms and all that. And then I mean, you have, I forget the exact number, but it's over a dozen, first responder, law enforcement, different organizations from city to state level out there working together, cheering everyone on. I mean, talk about community and teamwork represented right here for sure.
Yeah, indeed. Shamus, dude, like again, I extend gratitude, man. The perspective you're giving us today is something that, gosh, I mean, this is so special. So thank you again for bringing us along this run, man.
You're very welcome.
I mean, it's a speechless thing, dude. I mean, it's just like I could keep talking about how awesome it is, but I mean, I'm searching for places to take the conversation, and I'm coming up with nothing because it's just the gravity of it. It's so special.
Right.
I think because of that, like you said, got to turn it over to Team Evans and let them do what they do.
Yeah. So Shamus, we're gonna wrap this out, man, because it doesn't need to be an hour episode. I think we captured everything that we wanted to capture today. But before we roll it out, like anything else that you want to talk about or cover down on before we kind of get towards the concluding part of our chat?
Nothing that comes to mind right now.
Dude is smiling so big.
Yeah, it's special. So yeah, man, Joe, you talk about having a 50 episodes of a podcast. I mean, I can take us all the way back to the point in time where you were like, podcast, we're going to wait. Okay. Whatever you say, let's do it. To fast forward 2.5 years later, man, to episode 50, and nowhere in my wildest dreams did I think it would all align, because I'm all about numbers and alignment and things being synced, where it is Shamus and Shaun running the Boston Marathon. Like, this is just and he's ear to ear. I don't even need to hear him talk anymore. The kid is just glowing with energy. It's so cool.
Yeah, I mean the alignment of the numbers. I mean, like you said, 2 years ago when we started this, like they both always wanted to do Boston, but it wasn't like a deal breaker if it didn't happen. So yeah, now to record 50 while they're there, it's just it's very cool. It's a great Patriots Day.
Yes, it is indeed. Shamus and Shaun Evans running the Boston Marathon. You might remember from episode 8. If you want to hear more about their story, please give them a chance. If you're just finding the Together We Shall podcast, and this is the kind of crazy stuff we do, tangents, thoroughfares, good, happy energy. We can go from Mental Health Awareness Month and talk about death by suicide to just the pure emotion and positivity of running a Boston Marathon with your dad, or at least pulling him along as they do this. So it's all the gamuts, and we're not scared of any of it. Bring it on. Shamus, as we roll this out, a couple requests. please send us any video that you happen to capture, maybe some stuff that we can put into this video. Please enjoy yourself to the fullest, which I know I don't have to ask you to do that. And I look forward to hearing more details about how the halfway mark and how the girls on the hill and how that left hand turn on the Boylston goes for you and all the fun things that are to come, man. But Joe, any parting shots, save rounds before we give Shamus the mic to take us home?
Embrace the moment. That's it. Enjoy.
We'll do. I just want to say, live in the moment. If you're doing that, everything's going to work out great.
We're going to wrap out this episode with some special footage that Shamus sent to us. This is the team as they approach the final left onto Boylston Street and that straight shot to the finish line of the Boston Marathon. Congratulations, gentlemen, your 2 hour and 55-minute finish. Wow. Thanks for including us.
Okay, bro. We said 3 hours. Yeah.
You know what? I got enough.
He's in charge.
We're done. This was good.
Yeah, we're done here. The structure of this building has reached its capacity.
Find your people, and if they make you feel sexy, even better.